go with week 4. You can see us putting the strapping around the windows to strengthen the walls. A big thank you to Creekside Pizza for hosting an introductory lunch for us. Alright, now it's time to waterproof the roof. So we put down a ice and water shield first, and then we put down a fireproofing because we're using a metal roof. Regrettably, the memory card had filled up and I don't have footage of the installation of the metal roof, but I can tell you it was Week 6, a particularly exciting week as we are putting on the exterior siding and the tiny house starts to look like a real house. First we're putting on the trim, then we get down to business with the siding. We were lucky enough to have Jay Sherlock of Studio J Architecture come and talk to us about being an architect and working in the building industry. Really appreciate his experience and his story. Thanks, Jay. You'll have to take my word for it. We're putting up the siding on the back side of the tiny house. It's really coming together. It's starting to look like a place you might even want to live. Week 7, Monday, we had a visitor, my son Liam, right there staring at the camera, making funny faces and having a good time. Here we are wrapping up the siding, putting in the last of the nails and caulking all the joints and all the nail holes. Wonderful timing, our final window has arrived and here we are installing the last window. fortunate enough to have Spencer and Ashley of Good Bones Design Build come and talk to us today. Made for a really nice day. I think the kids learned something. I know I did. Big thank you to them. Here we are moving inside, getting ready to put in the drain lines, taking out the shower pan, seeing exactly where the holes go, working all that out. And most of the action is underneath the tiny house. Maybe I'll set up the camera down there. Maybe not. But we're getting the drain lines in. We should have that wrapped up by next week. Alright, week 8 is underway and we are under the tiny house getting our drain lines in. So we're getting the drain lines all dialed in, getting the shower drain there on the left taken care of. And now we're going to start to drill holes for the water supply. For the fresh water to come in, we're going to drill holes in the studs so that we can lay the pipe. With the holes all ready to go, we bring in the PEX tubing with the SharkBite couplings. Really nice to work with. They were quick and easy, no gluing, no soldering, and we pressure tested it, filled up the lines with 100 psi of air from the compressor, let that sit, and no leaks. We also filled up our drain lines, filled up through the vent pipe, and let that sit, and no leaks. So that is great. With all the plumbing in and we passed our inspection, we're going to start to lay out the pocket door wall that is our last thing to be framed in so we can start the electrical next week. Week 9 is upon us, and it actually marks a historical event. This is the week that PG&E shut off the power for public safety because of high winds and worry of wildfires. And ironically, we are working on the electrical. We're putting in the electrical boxes, the cans, and drilling the holes to run the lines. Here we are without power and with a very strange color on the camera, kind of adding to the apocalyptic feel of the day. Without power, we were a little limited on what we could do. We actually worked on solar boxes. If you remember these guys from early Big Skills days, these solar boxes were so useful. Big bright light, radio, USB charger, all powered off the sun and a battery. Such useful devices. I think students were thrilled to take it home. They may even have been a hero when they got home. Alright, week 10, we're running the wires and roughing in the electric, as well as the mechanical ducts for the mini split, the heat pump that provides our heating and our cooling. My trusty camera is not being so trusty. It's kind of being spotty. I'm going to play with the file settings and see if I can get it to give me some better results, but it's been spotty this week, so I don't have as good of footage as I wish I did. You still get some of the flavor for what we're doing, running electrical wires in the wall and bending the copper feed lines, what they call line sets, to the mini split outside. All in order to get ready for the spray foam insulation, which is coming up early next week, Tuesday. We'll be putting in the spray foam insulation. We're actually going to have a subcontractor do that. We're going to watch them and learn from them, see how that happens. All in all, a really productive week. We got all the wires roughed in. We got the main circuit breaker all wired up and ready to go. And we're all set for our electrical inspection, which is coming on Monday. All right, week 11, exciting week, the week that we passed our electrical inspection, which is what you can see going on in the background. We do kind of a FaceTime style inspection with the NOAA organization, and it's all in preparation for the spray foam insulation. So we need to make sure we have all of our electrical, plumbing, all inspected and ready to go before the spray foam comes along. Spray foam adds a lot of strength to the house, as well as, of course, the insulative value. Watching the insulation be installed was really a trip. They spray it and the stuff expands like crazy. And the guys installing it really know what they're doing with the cadence and a rhythm to how it's applied. Here's a short clip of it. A little piece as we stick our heads in through the door watching them go. Just has such a great rhythm. Just expands and makes the... Here's a picture kind of how it looks at the end. And we got some light, which is exciting to see the lights on and the insulation in, so we can start doing some of our interior sheathing finishes. There's a little bit of drywall work. And there are the supplies to finish off the inside. Exciting week. Well, the last of the interior sheathing went up and my camera died. All right, week 14, we're back from Thanksgiving and we're wet. The rain is here, and we spent Monday getting this tent on, getting ourselves a dry workspace. So hopefully that's the only time we're wet, is that one Monday after Thanksgiving. We spent most of the week puttying up the joints of the interior plywood, getting it ready to paint, which is what we'll be up to next week. Got a new video camera I'm using. We'll see how it goes. So far, so good. Here we are beginning to sand and scrape away our putty from before, getting ready again for the painting. The priming, which is coming soon. Okie doke, here we go, week 15. Our first range structure blew down on Friday, so we put up a new one. Hopefully that handles the wind a little bit better. This week we spent most of the time preparing the walls for primer and also preparing the floor for tile and hardwood flooring. We also prepared the trim for around the windows. Cut all the pieces and then primed them, and we'll get to install those next week. Alright, here we are, week 16. We are installing the floors, and just as quickly as we install them, we will cover them up and protect them and not see them again for a few months. We also worked on installing the 2 walls of the shower. The 3rd wall we'll be doing later. Here we are installing the trim around the windows, which we've previously cut and primed all the edges, and then we get to install it. We are installing porcelain tiles in our bathroom. You can see us doing that back there. It's a tight space, so we're working on that almost one at a time. We're celebrating the end of the year as we're going into a 2-week break over Christmas and New Year's. So we're going to have a little open house, and thank you guys who were able to come. It was fun to see people come out and check out our progress and give us a little moral support. So thank you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. It was great to see the people out at the tiny house. It was good to show off our work. And it was a pretty good turnout. We really enjoyed having people. So good to be back after 2 weeks off for the holidays. We spent the week getting ready for tiling the bathroom floor and the shower wall. And from a cinematic perspective, I guess I let you guys down. Most of the action's in the bathroom. We also did a lot of prep work for the painting. You'll see us patching and touching up little spots, filling in little cracks and holes, and also sanding and priming little spots. Then eventually you'll see us masking off the windows as we get ready for painting. We're also working away on getting our little attic, which is above the shower. Above the shower we've got a little attic that houses the hot water heater, and we'll also have a little bit of storage. So we're working away on that, making a little built-in cabinet face for that attic area. All that buildup and all that preparation finally comes to a head, and we get to paint and we get to grout and we put in the tile and we put in the flooring. It looks really nice. I think I've got at least one picture I can show you of the shower. It looks fantastic, but it's amazing. It's a week of preparation, and then Friday is the big payoff where we got to do that final push where we got to paint and we got to do the grout. A big thank you to Kelly Moore Paint in San Rafael, who kindly donated our paint. Thank you guys so much. It's a big value. Thank you. All right, week 20 of the tiny house build. Here we are cleaning up the grout and then installing the hot water heater in our little attic. And preparing the trim work for the bathroom. Also getting ready for the built-in bed frame and large drawers. We also did lots of painting this week, painting and sanding, getting the inside ready so that we can put on the electrical plates and the angle stops for the plumbing. And I think at the end of the week we got there, at least in the main room. The bathroom is going to need another coat, but the main room is looking good. And here we are starting work on the bed frame, the built-in bed, going at this end of the tiny house. It's a full-size bed with 2 large drawers underneath. We sure did miss one of our students, was out sick. We sure hope she's feeling better and back with us soon. Alright, week 21 is done, wrapped up. A great week. We finished up a little bit of painting in the main room, so we've got most of the painting taken care of, except the bathroom will need another coat. But other than that, just touches up in the main room. So we get to turn our attention to our built-in. At this end of the tiny house, we've got a built-in bed, a full-size bed, with lots of storage underneath. You can see us preparing to put the slides for the drawers on, making sure the slides are nice and square and level and just where they need to be. And we'll be putting the drawers in. There's a lot of action going on outside. I'll have to see if I can get a camera set up out there, but we're putting the drawers together, big boxes, and then of course the top of the bed. You'll see that roll in here soon. Okay, here comes the top. Let's see if you can see me escape out the right side. Oh, there, I escaped. Ooh, that was close. Alright, time to mount the drawers. Make sure they're just in the right spot. Make sure that they work and that they slide nicely. 2 drawers, very large. Each one seems like it would hold a dresser's worth of stuff. We'll put some dividers in there. We've pretty much wrapped up the bed, and so here is our little mini tour in fast motion. I love the chipmunk voices.
Alright, got a full-size bed with a ton of storage. How much, yes, we're asking, how much storage? There you go. Open it all the way. Whoa! That's one. We don't have one giant dresser drawer. Here's another one. We got 2. Well, wait, there's more. Wait, there's more, alright. Patience, everyone. We've got cubbies here. For the big stuff. Big stuff over there. What are these? 2 smaller cubbies. Little stuff. Fantastic. Good week.
Week 22 is upon us, and here we are getting ready to paint, getting ready to stain the top of the bed. And the stain turned out really nice. This nice natural stain that uses water cleanup and doesn't smell. Definitely like this stain. I'll be using it again later on in this project. I think it looks really nice. Alright, we got some camera shots outside of our action. The camera will be jumping in and out a little bit during the week. Here we are, we're getting the entertainment unit / closet ready to go. It goes at the foot of the bed, full height. Got an entertainment unit and a closet. Getting it all put together, checking for square. Trimming off a little bit of the trim so that it fits. Just that little bit needed to come off. There it is in. Of course, we'll take it back outside and sand it and paint it and such. Here we are making a little mock-up of our cabinet doors. Just getting familiar with using the cabinet door jig and the way it works and how it lines up with things. And of course, more painting. We're always painting something. We are getting the bathroom all nice and dialed in. Then we'll jump back outside and we'll prime this guy. This guy will paint white. We cleaned it out, had the window shut to keep the dust out, and now we're done with the dust, so here we go, priming away. And we got some pre-made kitchen cabinets, so this was a good comparison as we've been building our own custom cabinets, and then we got to compare it to the pre-built ones, which are sure a lot less work, but not exactly what you want. See, there's pluses and minuses. I think for us this works out great. The 2 30-inch cabinets are just the right size for us. Kind of getting all the holes in so that they can fit over the wheel wells and mate with the plumbing and the electrical that comes in the back. Here we are putting in the kitchen cabinets, kind of doing the last little adjustments, putting in the last little pieces of electrical and the toe kick, getting it all ready to go. Now you see us back outside finishing more cabinet doors. So we're making our own cabinet doors, and we can see how much is saved by having them ordered. but it's great skill making your own cabinet doors, and that's what we're up to now. Week 23 is underway, and we are making cabinet doors, which means we're using the biscuit joiner to put borders, ribbings, frames around the plywood face of the cabinet door. Here is the closet entertainment unit getting a coat of paint, soon to be moved inside the house and permanently attached. Alright, here comes the entertainment unit and the closet getting put in. And we're starting to lay out the cabinet and the microwave that go above the stove. The microwave is a built-in that also has a vent. We are getting ready to put in our butcher block kitchen counter, getting it all measured out, putting the template in place, making the appropriate marks, and getting ready to chop it up. And here we are outside chopping it up, cutting the hole for the sink and the hole for the faucet, making sure it fits nicely. Here we are learning about scribing, getting the line from the wall onto the line at the back of the counter. Also adding some supports for our under sink, our under counter sink. Putting some of the components in place, though we're not quite done. There'll be some protective layers that go on the counter before we're ready to put it in permanently.